We are live. Let's start out playing an old beat. Do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And make sure we are live on all channels. We do this on YouTube, Facebook, soon, and also Twitch. And today I'm trying out Periscope at the same time as well. And we already have a few submissions for this stream. And we also have a question in the general section that I'll go over here in a second. And it looks like we are live on everything here. Except Facebook. It seems like Facebook has a delay on it. Nope, we are good. We are good. And here soon, I will be streaming live through my Facebook page and my Facebook group. That will be starting next week, actually. And same for my tutorial channel. You'll be able to watch these live streams on my tutorial channel, but the replays will be here on my live channel if you ever want to catch the replays afterwards. Let me check my Instagram real quick. I haven't figured out a good way to stream live on Instagram just because there's no way for me to record the screen and audio without literally doing it from the outside. If I could do it within my computer, then I would do it. So if anyone knows how to do that, let me know. But I don't think that there is a good way to do that. Seems like for the most part, everyone that goes live on Instagram is recording their screen through their mobile phone instead. Just got a new follower on Instagram. We'll wait for this song to play out and then we'll start things up. Let's let a few more people roll in. It's funny, I always think these are gonna start off really slow, but when I start thinking that we're getting to the end of the list, all of a sudden a bunch of people pop in and start adding tracks. So I end up going for an extra hour, it seems like. But time does fly when you're doing this. It usually only seems like I'm on for a few minutes. Got a new post from Harsh. And hold on, where's my... Oh, this is the general section. So we have a question here about hard clipping. Let me take a look at this question real quick. Hard clipping output at 0 dB. Please give some information about this. Should I turn this on as it came by default? Any suggestion on idle audio settings for ASIO driver? Oh, he's talking about the FL Studio ASIO driver, how it has the option for hard clip output at 0 dB. Otherwise, limiting will be applied. I would say just test out both options on export and then make your decision from there. Use your ears because it's going to depend on your personality, how you feel about it. When I tested it, I didn't hear any difference. So try it out and go from there. I don't use the FL Studio ASIO driver to export though. I have a Focusrite sound card, so I use my sound card to export. But I would say, yeah, test both out and just listen to see which one you like better. I doubt you'll hear much of a difference, to be honest. Let's see. I think by default that's not selected. The hard clip at 0 dB. Yeah. The times that I have used the FL Studio ASIO driver, I've just left the settings as is. But yeah, totally up to you. Like I said, you're not really going to hear much of a difference from my experience. Let's go to, let me check out these other sections. Shout out to Takid. He made these logos for Simo. So if you guys are looking for any logo work that's simple and clean, hit up Takid. Yeah, here's his name right here. He's actually working on the my drum pack cover right now. That's being released next Wednesday. I would say that it's being released next Monday, but I feel like there might be a delay with my website. And I know by Wednesday for sure I'll have everything up and running. So you guys will be able to have access to that. Carson, what's up? Can I email a beat if I don't have Discord? Or is there another way I can send an MP3? Just click the Discord link. You'll be fine. It takes like 2 seconds to sign up. And that way you don't have to go through email or whatever other way every time. And the reason I don't use email anymore is because usually there's like a huge delay. And yeah, it's really just that. I just have had a lot of issues using email. I know that's what most other producers do. But on top of that, I feel like this is a good way to grow the community. So you're doing yourself a favor by signing up for Discord. Like I said, all you have to do is just type in a username and your email, and then that's it. But the link is in the description below. But I totally understand if you don't want to sign up. I totally get it. That's completely your decision. Let's check out the collab section. Simo's still trying to get a huge collab together with everyone in here. Tips and tricks. Kazoo, aka Raphael, he posted a description of how he levels out his tracks. His tracks sound pretty good. From looking these numbers over, I feel like they're a good place to start in terms of leveling your beats. And then you just adjust from there, depending on the sounds that you're using. All right, DJ Alan T, he has 3 submissions right now, I believe 4. And 1 just entered in by Profit. Cool. I think we're about to get started here. What's up, Vaughn? Good to see you. Yeah, we'll start with DJ Alan T. Thanks for playing our beats on your show. It helps to compare it with others. I'm just using drum loops and samples for now until I get the sound better. From West Virginia. I listen to the replay after I get home from work right around 8. Cool.
Beats on the track.
Let me turn this up a little bit. That 808 sounds a little too rumbly. It sounds like you need to pitch the whole beat up so that those low notes of the 808 aren't distorting like that. On top of that, it's out of key. Actually, maybe it's not. It's just all that rumbling and distortion makes it sound like the pitch is off. Sounds like a lot of the beat needs EQ in general, because a lot of those sounds are clashing. They sound really muddy. So some high passing on those sounds would definitely help out. Sounds really, really busy. Felt like, yeah, without the EQ it sounds really muddy because there's just so much instrumentation going on all at once. Not a lot of dropouts. It sounded like just a loop that continues on and on. Yeah, you said you're using drum loops and samples for now. So if all those are loops, I think you're just adding in way too much in the beat. So I would work on the arrangement. Definitely need some EQ in there, and pitch everything up so that those low notes on the bass line aren't playing so low. I forget what keys exactly people try to avoid. I feel like, yeah, I don't want to say any off the top of my head because I'll probably get that wrong. But just listen to what key you're playing in and pay attention to the lowest note of your bass line. And if that bass is rumbly like that, then you definitely want to pitch everything up. Carson, can we send full songs? Absolutely. Borso HD, what's up? Yeah, Prophet heard the same thing. He says the melody is not in key at all. Yeah. Yeah, you're using random loops that aren't in key with each other, for sure. Let's take a listen to this one. Hopefully it doesn't have the same issues.
150 beats on the track.
It sounds like you're using the same bass sample. Yeah, and once again, it's really, really low. Better than the last track, though, in terms of the bass clarity. But yeah, it's definitely still playing too low. But it's in key. Yeah, the instruments sound a lot cleaner, for sure. Kick sounds a little small. Yeah, much better arrangement on this one. Yeah, these are better loops than the last one. But again, I would pitch everything up because that bass is playing too low. And also try to get into the habit of finishing these tracks because I'm noticing that you're making snippets. How long was this track?
Beats on the track.
Yeah, you're making like one minute snippets. It's better to get in the habit of making a full song. That way you start developing ideas in terms of arrangement and places where you could drop out instruments, add instruments back in, and so on and so forth. And that might be due to the fact that you're using loops, so you have less to work with in terms of like stems and individual sounds and instruments that you can pull out, take out, and put back in. So I think the loops are actually holding you back a little bit in that department. Let's listen to this third one. Yeah, Prophet says that one was much better. Yeah, I agree. What's up, David Treasure? Good to have you back. Yeah, already this one's much cleaner. They're getting better and better as we're going along here. I'm curious what bass you're gonna have here. Kick is a lot punchier. I'm assuming this is a drum loop as well, but yeah, this is a better drum loop. Bass line should have dropped in right there. Yeah, again, everything's super, super low. You got to switch out the bass that you're using because I'm pretty sure there are basses that do play that low that are a lot cleaner. And the melody loop that you're using, I think that's going to be really difficult to add stuff in because it's very jazzy, meaning it's... Let me listen a little longer. Yeah, I mean, you could tell that you're just putting loops together for sure. Like things are just out of key, and I feel like you're picking a loop based on what that loop sounds like by itself, and you're saying, okay, that's cool, and then grab these drums are cool, and you're just putting them together. So that's, yeah, I think that's slowing down your progress in terms of making music, to be honest. Yeah, you would be much better off just going into the piano roll and picking sounds and composing your own music, because it's a lot easier to stay in key when you're picking picking a key from the get-go and then just sticking to those 7 notes. I actually made I made a tweet. I made a tweet about this just days ago. It might have been yesterday, actually, where I was going over the idea of just melodies in general. And one of the tweets was that most modern Western music, specifically like top 40 music, is only 7 notes. And a lot of those songs are actually less than that. Every major and minor scale, the basic ones, are just 7 notes. Even harmonic minor, which is definitely the third most popular series of scales, that is also only 7 notes. And you'll find that most songs don't use all 7 notes in the scale that they're playing. That being said, yeah, it's just a lot easier for you to go in and just stick to those 7 specific notes and pick sounds that you like. I think a new trend that's going to be really big in 2020 is instead of producer loops, but the idea of one shot instruments, so that producers can start making their own melodies. I think that's going to be really big in 2020. Unfortunately, my kit that I'm dropping doesn't have one shot instrument sounds, but the next kit that I'm going to drop will specifically have one shots for you guys to make your own melodies. I think that's really big for you guys. And that way you have quality sounds. They're not going to be as good as using an actual VST or a sampled instrument. Another idea that I have is using direct wave, where you can actually create your own sampled instrument. But the problem with that is only people with FL Studio will be able to access that. So I'm thinking maybe I'll have a direct wave version and then a one-shot instrument sample version, where people on other DAWs like Ableton, Logic, or whatever will still have access to those sounds. But yeah, that's just something I got to think a little longer about. All right, fourth one. Let's take a listen. Trials and Tribulations.
150 beats on the track.
Yeah, definitely find a new bass. That's what I would say. You're using the same bass in every track, I can tell. Samson, what's up? Samson says some newer VSTs are like that. I'm sure they'll try to set that up in something like Contact. Alchemy, what's up? Again, this sounds really muddy. If you are going to use loops, definitely explore mixing a little bit more. Like, let me listen a little longer. I mean, just basic EQ would definitely help you out here. Prophet says he doesn't see any problems with the bass. So that's the same bass line that was playing throughout the whole entire track, but only until everything else was dropped out could you actually hear the individual notes. So the bass probably would be good if there was a lot more EQ added onto the other sounds where you duck the low frequencies out of the way, because you could clearly hear the bass at the end. But during the track, it's just getting totally, you could definitely hear a lot of clashing going on. Z Beats, what's going on? Prophet says, I mean, the mixing could be a little better. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it literally sounds like, yeah, reading the sentence, I feel like it's pretty much confirming what I'm hearing, just using drum loops and samples. I think that's literally all you're doing. You're dragging a loop into the project and dragging another loop into the project, and that's it. Not a lot of arrangement going on, not a lot of mixing going on. I think you're just getting ideas down. I'm curious how long you've been producing beats or making music. But yeah, let us know. But definitely venture off from what you're doing now. Like, start doing a little bit more, because you're going to be stuck. This is going to hold you back by doing this over and over again. Like, I can imagine you making 100 tracks exactly like all 4 of these, just by dragging loops in. You gotta do a little bit more. What else? Yeah, that's what I would have to say about that. Cool. Dropbox link from Prophet. Or do I click here? Cool. And here we go. Beat 145. I wonder if that's the tempo. What's up, Breezy? Like some of the melody loops he's using, I'd start by making your own bass line and drums rather than the drum loops. Well, here's the thing, that on that third beat, I really like the drum loop, for sure. I mean, it all just depends. It all just depends. Yeah, making your own bass line. I think he is making his own bass line, though, because I'm hearing the same bass in each of those tracks. So I think he's already doing that. Prophet says, huge tip, never be too proud to watch a YouTube tutorial. No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, I wish YouTube was around when I first got started, that's for sure. Looks like these drums are gonna punch. Yeah, like nothing's clashing here. Like you could clearly hear, like a lot of times when I listen to a bass, like the problem that I had with the bass in those other tracks, like you could hear extra rumbling that's almost causing the low end to go out of phase. You guys might not be able to hear it, but it's very clear in my headphones for sure. So it depends what you're listening on, but yeah, like right here, the bass is nice and tight and solid. And that's what all those other tracks were missing. You have a good relationship between your bass and your kick. I think that's another thing, another tip that was it DJ Allen T? Yeah, get your bass and kick to sit right first, and then you could start messing with the levels of other sounds. But again, that's one of the issues with using loops. You don't have access to all the individual sounds, so you're at the mercy of how they mixed it. Yeah, your percussive levels are really tasteful too. They're not getting in the way. Yeah, everything sounds well balanced. I'm missing some of these comments here. Let me scroll up here. Samson, I remember always trying to force 808s in weird pitches because I didn't know how to tune basses at first, but after getting it figured out, cleaned everything up, and just made so much more sense. Yeah, that's definitely an issue for a lot of beginners for sure. Nice switch up. We needed that for sure. Good job, Prophet. Prophet says all of the melodies that we're hearing and the drum patterns are original. Oh, that's dope. I was thinking that the melody was a sampled loop, but I always appreciate when people make their own samples. I think what I would like to hear more are more original sounding sample loops though. I feel like everyone's on the Q beats techniques. So a lot of these sound like they come from Q beats, if you guys can hear what I'm talking about. It sounds like they're all made by the same producer. I think that's why you have to, that's why people are like, oh, well, I actually made all that. Like, it would be awesome to not even question it, where it totally sounds like, oh, someone must have made this. But that's just, the beat is still fire either way, so. But that goes back into branding and creating your own sound. Z Beats, genuine question. Do you guys feel that the beat is yours when you use loops? I mean, if you don't flip it at least. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I have no problem when people use loops when they chop it up and flip it. But when I can tell where they literally just dragged a loop in and didn't even do anything to it, it's really disappointing. And you could usually tell. Borso HD says, I really like this one, but I feel the 808 notes should change a little bit. Good point. I think it would be fire if you had a 808 switch up into a synth bass. That's something that I really like to do. There's a few producers that do that heavily. I know Cash Money AP does that a lot too. But yeah, that's something that I do in almost every track. Like, it'll be really rare for you guys to hear a track from me where the bass line is one bass line through the entire track. Really, really rare. And I feel like that helps with arrangement too, because now you have more options to go to in terms of creating switch ups and creating different vibes within the same track. But since everything is in the same key or in the same scale, it still feels like the same track. You know what I'm saying? Like, just having those little switch ups. Yeah, respaces. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm talking about for sure. By the way, yeah, you guys are definitely going to love the basses that I made for my 2020 drum kit, which, again, we have a lot more people in here now, so I'll talk about this again. It's dropping next Wednesday, I believe. I'm going to try and drop it next Monday, but I think it's going to have to be pushed back to Wednesday. But it's 10 folders. Each folder has 20 sounds, so there's 200 sounds, which also includes 20 samples, 20 respaces, synth basses, sub basses, however you want to call them, 20 808s, 20 kicks, 20 snares, 20 etc., 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 20 claps, 20 hi-hats, 20 effects, 20 perks. So, yeah, a whole lot of sounds, and I went through 3 times where I deleted the sounds that I liked the least. I did that 3 times and added more sounds. So I actually just got through doing that again last night. That was the 3rd time that I did it. So really high quality pack. Not only that, one thing that I noticed with other people's packs, they'll sound dope in the browser, right? So you'll scroll through and you'll listen to it on its own. You're like, oh, that's fire. But then, like, say you have a drum pattern playing already and you add that snare into the drum pattern, you replace the snare that you had, all of a sudden that snare doesn't sound as dope as it did in the browser by itself. So that's one of the reasons why I kept going back and changing out sounds. I actually created beats with these sounds and listened to how they sound playing with each other. So it's a legit kit where the sounds actually belong with each other. So if you just use the kit by itself, you're going to come up with beats really fast and not have to go search around. Like, all the sounds really match up well together. But anyway, let's go to the next one. Prophet 143. Yeah, I wonder if that's your tempo or if that's how many beats you made. And again, I'm assuming you made the melodies and the drums in this one. Once again, I'm loving the melodies. Yeah, you could just tell by looking at the waveform that you have an interesting arrangement with dropouts, a fade out at the end. You could see how punchy the drums are. Well balanced to where I can actually turn this up and not worry about. Yeah, this sounds great. Prophet, what are you using to process your melodies? Yeah, when your kick drops out and your kick comes back in, I mean, it's really easy to tell that your kick and bass are well balanced. Samson says he likes the piano. Little extra ambience right here. Yeah, that was a great decision. I haven't heard too many change-ups like that where people get more ambient with the dropout, because it sounds like you added a lot of extra reverb in that dropout. I'm gonna steal that. I'm definitely gonna do that. That was dope. Barso says melody is super fire, 808 good, but yeah, I missed the 808 notes changing. Yeah, I love that idea of the ambient switch up. That's really cool. Samson says it's like showing off reverb space. That was cool. Yeah, I agree. Prophet says it's actually a lot simpler than it sounds. I mainly use EQ and halftime. Okay, so you're saying that you didn't even add reverb. You just increase the reverb level with your EQ, and the halftime brings it out a little bit more. Prophet says, oh, and re-recording, throwing it into Fruity Slicer. Oh yeah, I assume that for sure. Yeah, that's why I mentioned the whole Q Beats thing, because that's definitely that style. Yeah, if you watch Cody's old tutorials, we had this conversation last week how he switched up his style. But there was a beat that was submitted a week ago. Oh, okay. Prophet says, nah, I did add reverb. Okay. I was going to say, I was like, man, that halftime really brings out the extras. But anyway, yeah, last week we were talking about how Cody's style switched up. And like before, it was just really obvious, like hearing that Fruity Slicer. Here, it's not as obvious because I can say that the slicing is a lot smoother. But Cody back in the day, a year ago, he made those slices like really apparent. And you can do that with changing the pitch and increasing the attack time on the slices. But you don't just do that just to make it sound like a sample. You actually do that to get rid of the pops and the clicks too as the slices transition. But you get it to where like you hardly hear it, and that's where this is at. I feel like. Yeah, good work, Prophet. I definitely like your tracks. Do you sell your beats online, or you just do this for fun, or do you work with any local artists, or do you send in beats for placements? Because you could definitely start working with artists, for sure. Borso, SoundCloud. This track is called Missing. This melody is fire. Transition was fire. Prophet says I work with a couple rappers. I just send them for free directly to artists. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing too. I feel like there's no point in charging artists to make a song. Get the money from making good music. The money comes later. I'm pretty much done with selling beats online, I feel like. Prophet says I just want to get my name out there and then start charging. Exactly. Yeah. When I build up my brand in the industry or online, that's when I'll start, well, specifically in the industry, that's when I'll start asking for money up front. But until then, I'm just trying to make really good fucking songs. Varden, what's up? Yeah, you can click the Discord link and post your beat in the beat critique section. Borso, I love the switch ups. The levels are all on point. I have nothing bad to say about this beat. I liked how that bass came in. Like that fade in roll up. That was dope. Yeah, that was like a really tasteful flex type beat, producer flex type beat. Like you have a lot of producer tricks going on in there, but it was like really tasteful to where like I can still hear an artist on top of that. Prophet says it'll just get lost in the noise. Yeah, that's the problem with online beat selling right now. That's why people are trying to sell like 40 beats at a time now. That is the new wave, and I'm definitely not down with that. Like I'm literally trying to make real like full-on songs with people that I actually want to work with. I just posted a twit. Why do I keep calling a Twitter? A twit. That's why I keep saying a twit. I just posted a tweet about my next move, which is just working with as many unknown artists as I possibly can and just making custom exclusives for them 100% for free. And then we just post up our music on all the streaming platforms through DistroKid, and we just split the profits. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Why do I want to charge them anything up front? Like they're adding lyrics to my beat and I'm adding a beat to their lyrics. Like I just want to work 50-50 right now. I'm not trying to wait. That's really how I see the beat selling game right now. Like it's forcing people that I want to work with to wait. Because one, they're not finding me on their own. Two, like it caused me to kind of sit back and be lazy about getting my music out there in terms of the beats. Because I thought, oh, well, I have an online store. And yeah, you'll get sales, but not the number of sales that make it viable to just sit back and do nothing. Like, I feel like the guys at the top, like they've been at the top for so long. Like it's hard to, like a lot of the new guys that are coming up in the beat selling game, I still like, it's been like people that I saw coming up like 2 years ago or a year ago, they're still not at the top of the charts or anywhere near that. Like you could scroll down for days and you'll still not see their names. And I'm just like, man, it's really unfortunate. Like there's just too many guys that have been doing it for like 10 years in the top 500. Like you'll see the same name over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I'll still be in that marketplace, but I just have a totally different idea of doing this. ZBeat says, enjoy these Australian currencies. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, that's right. Your WhatsApp uploads that says AUD. All right, let's get into Nadir, aka Z Beats. Where did Oh Boy go? Because I still don't see an upload from him. I hope he didn't decide not to upload. Carson, are you still in here? I hope you didn't decide not to upload just because it's on Discord. Good levels. I'm curious where the kick's gonna hit. Oh, I guess, yeah, there is a kick in there. I turned that kick up just slightly. Because now it sounds a little too blended in with the bass. Like you want the kick to just punch right over that kick. Okay, Carson's still in here, and he did submit. These are his tracks right here. Cool. Let's say that sound that just came in, not the sweeping sound. Not the sweeping sound, but this sound right here. Maybe pan that a little bit to the left. Varden just made a beat 5 minutes ago that you just sent in. I like the sound selection. Beat's really chill. I don't know what it is, but I want like a different switch up. Like it's cool that you're dropping out sounds and bringing them back in, but like that, I don't even know what to call it. Like it's like that plucky synth that plays throughout the whole entire beat. I'd say maybe drop that out. You just did. You just did. Carson asks, what kind of music do I listen to? I hate to be that cliche or sound cliche, but I listen to everything. Everything from bluegrass to country to rock to trap to EDM. A lot of different EDM and even some genres that you guys never heard of. Well, maybe you guys have heard of like vapor trap, but yeah, I'm into the whole vapor movement. Samson, it's really smooth, and I personally would want something to spice it up. Yeah, I just feel like it's missing something. Think add a saw lead or something fuzzy, sliding lead on it, but that's just me. Yeah, it's missing some sort of high end, maybe like some bells or mallets that are used as keys. That'd sound good layered over that piano, because maybe it was the piano that was bothering me in terms of like playing through the whole beat. Yeah, that piano's like throughout the whole entire beat. So like if you could spice up the piano by layering that piano with the same melody, uh, grab a mallet instrument or some bells, maybe EQ out some of the high end a little bit because too much high end with how chill the beat is might ruin it. But if you're trying to keep that vibe, just have a section where you pitch the pianos up an octave. That would add some excitement to the beat. But yeah, I just felt like one element was missing in there. But overall, good track, good mixing. I liked it. All right, this is from Carson Scumbaggert. The first track is called Tide. Oh, I get what you're saying there, Z Beats. You're saying my name when you say N, I-N-N. I was wondering what that was, N. But it's I-A-N. That's how my name's spelled. There needs to be a name for this style of vocals, because a lot of people do this now. But the singing's awesome. That was fire. That sounded like speaking of music that you guys might not know, but that sounds a lot like Eden and Crywolf. Oh yeah, you're totally right, Sanson. Yeah, it's called Sad Boy. You're totally right. Yeah. Varden says, "Goddamn, nice and clean." Carson, did you just produce the song, or did you do is that you on the vocals too? And did you record at home or in the studio? And also, do you have this on Spotify or any streaming platform? Because it should be, for sure. Because it's a finished song. When time runs out, will I be satisfied? Will I just give it up and quit? Yeah. It should definitely be on some Spotify playlists for sure. Breezy says dope track. Yeah, I think everyone likes the track. I think it'll be hard pressed for you to find people that don't really like this track. Especially with the current movement of sad boy songs. Excuse me. Also, it'd be dope if you would whitelist my channel so I don't get a copyright notice from you. Okay, so it's two people on the track. You guys complement each other really well. Sorry if I get really loud when I'm talking over these tracks. I'm trying to keep the vibe going while I talk. But yeah, Carson says, I produced it. My friend and I are both doing vocals. We recorded it at the house. We'll be on all streaming platforms soon. Yeah, make sure whenever you drop a link in the self-promo of the Discord. See, this is why I want people to join the Discord, and I'm glad I got you to join. definitely drop your link in the self-promo section. I know this live seems really small right now, but it's definitely going to blow up next week when I start streaming live on my main channel as well. So we're about to get like, I don't know, multiple times the engagement that we have now. So it'll be a good way for you guys to get your streaming going right off the bat, because I definitely want to support you guys. David Treasure says fire, fire, fire. Dope. And here's the second one. Where'd it go wrong? Do you guys use DistroKid? Or do you plan to use DistroKid? That was a question for Carson specifically, but anyone can answer. And then I think I gotta fix it. Sometimes I can't find the right words to say. Okay, not sometimes, more like every day. Okay, this is a perfect example of what I was saying earlier with let me find it. Yeah, with Borso. Like, it's like a lot of times you'll hear producers say don't do the 808 slides and all this because it's too distracting or whatever. No artist will want to get on it. Carson says, yeah, we're planning on using DistroKid. Cool. But what I was saying was, like, if you do it tastefully, like this song right here, it's not going to be difficult for an artist to get on the track. Just don't go overboard with it. That's really it. But yeah, when it's tastefully done, you could definitely get an artist on those type of tracks. Yeah. That shit got me messed up. Glad I finally fessed up. Got me feeling blessed up. Yeah. That shit got me messed up. Glad I finally fessed up. Got me feeling blessed up. Try not to make. What's your audio setup, Carson? Because you said you record at home. A mess though, I must confess though, I still feel the stress though. Try not to make a mess though, I must confess though, I still feel the stress though. Hey, post your if you're on IG, post your IG on here so people can follow you. I'll definitely follow you back on IG. I'm at InflightMuzik, if that's not obvious, but yeah, I'll definitely follow you on there for sure. I think everyone else will too. How have I strayed so far? You never left my head. How have I fallen so far? Yet so far from the edge. Back in my head. Forgot the rest. Brick by brick, oh. Brick by brick, oh. Brick by brick, oh. Yeah, this is fire. You guys definitely have your own sound too. Hey, post which track you guys like better between those two. Type 1 if you like Tide better, type 2 if you like Where'd It Go Wrong better. I'm curious what you guys like better. fade this out. I'll just let it go. Carson says, not sure what mic. I know it was around $60. We built a booth with moving blankets in our basement. Cool. Yeah, type 1 if you liked Tide better, and type 2 if you liked Where'd It Go Wrong better. Curious what you guys think. Yeah, Carson, do you have Instagram? James says he's feeling both of those tracks. What's up, buyers? Good to have you in here. Yeah, I'm feeling both of those tracks too. I think I'm with Breezy though. I didn't want to say that until everyone else posted their opinion, but yeah, I was feeling one just a little bit better. But they both have the same vibe. You definitely have your own sound for sure. But yeah, your vocals are good enough to record at home for sure. I'd definitely like to feature you guys on an upcoming project. Just hit me up on IG. Like I said, I don't know if you were in here when I was talking about it, but yeah, basically like I don't plan on charging people for beats. Like I just want to work with artists that I care about and just put out music that's dope. But anyway, and that goes for singers, rappers. Like I'm not trying to have like one type of genre on the project. So David Treasure, Chilled Vibes, Muscle Grip Remix. What's up to Kid? I was talking about you earlier about the logo work that you did for Simo. That was good. Nice, simple, and clean. I liked it. Got an interesting kick pattern there, for sure. There's a lot of extra static going on. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but it doesn't sound like it's supposed to be a part of the song. Like usually with beats like this, like they're... Oh no, that's coming from... That was coming from my computer, my bad. Yeah, my computer was just going nuts right there. But anyway, what I was about to say was like a lot of dance hall and reggae and like just the tracks with Caribbean vibes in general. Like I think what I like most about them is the mixing on a lot of those tracks. So if you listen to like Mantra, however you pronounce it, or OGE Beats, or I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head. Like their mixing is just phenomenal. Like it's better than most people on BeatStars. But like when you hear a really good mix on tracks like this, like those instruments just stand out so much better. So like I think really what I'm looking for on a track like this is just a little extra EQ, just to make things have their own space and shine a little bit more. Let me listen to like the stereo field. I feel like things need to be spaced out, panned out a little more left and right too. No, never mind. Sounds like you had the painting down, but yeah, just some EQ on those individual instruments just to brighten things up. Because a lot of that genre, like when you think about that genre, you're thinking about like, you know, bright skies, coconut trees, but just like bright colors. So like it would be nice to hear that brightness in the track, but everything sounds kind of muffled. Yeah, everything's just a little muffled, I would say. And maybe you posted the same track twice. Yeah, it looks like you did. Same file size and everything. Yeah, same track. But yeah, I would just say go in and just add a little EQ to each of those sounds, and I feel like that would flip how muffled that track sounds overall. But here is another one. What's good, Nine Skies? MG inspired R&B D Dorian mix cut. Hey, yeah, by the way, David, I saw you in Spicy Sundays. Not yesterday. I just watched the replay today. So I usually try to be in there each Sunday, but yeah, it was cool to see you in there. Was this one of his loops at all? It just says inspired, so I'm thinking not, but if you guys don't know what Spicy Sundays is, MG the Future and CMP, Craftmaster Productions, they always do a podcast every Sunday where they just go over industry news, just general music production, tips, tricks, questions, and whatnot. And every Sunday they release a free sample pack, drum kit, just depends. But yeah, definitely check them out. Carson says at cookedsushi.official on Insta and Twitter. Thanks for the kind words. Yeah, for sure. I'll be DMing you on IG, and I'll follow you back on IG and Twitter. Actually, let me go ahead and do that right now so I don't forget. Yeah, I would say the same thing about this track, David. It's not as muffled as the last one, especially those bells. Those sound nice and clean. But yeah, just a little extra EQ would help you out. Just get rid of some of those low frequencies, maybe a little boost in the high end on some of those instruments. Like those pads that you have in the background. And listening closely to those bells or kalimbas, I'm not sure what those are, but I feel like, yeah, if you just took away some of the low end on those just a little bit, it would tighten things up, clean it up real nice. But what I do like about both tracks is the composition. Like, you definitely have your style down pat for sure. I'm really feeling the vibe of this one. Like, this makes me want to drink a beer, smoke some green. Haven't done that in a while. Let me see. Actually, let me do this on my phone. Oh, David says MG is live right now. Yeah, he's probably making some beats. Akeem, what's up? Am I familiar with FL Mobile? No, sir, I am not. But one guy who is Kyle Beats. He has a couple videos with him using FL Mobile to make beats. I haven't watched them, but apparently they came out fire according to his title, so definitely check those out. I just don't have any point to use FL Mobile. Nice switch up. It would be cool to have that switch up come in somewhere in the bridge. Because I like that sound for sure. Sacred. City. I made this with a reverse sample just a couple days ago. Interesting. Alright, Carson, I'm about to follow you on IG right now. Cooked sushi. I don't think I've ever had cooked sushi. I wonder what that would taste like. You don't even have a IG pic, man. You gotta get one of those. No IG pic, no post. I'm about to be your 7th follower. Let's see if your Twitter's going. Okay, yeah, I definitely see what you're saying here, Sacred. Like, everything is literally reversed. Hakeem says, roll one for Ian. Yeah, spark one up for me. That'd be nice. What's going on, Simo? Varden says, vibey. Yeah, I like the concept of having a lot of sweeping reverses, and that reverse bell is fire. Even the vocals are reversed. That's crazy. Yeah, interesting concept, but I don't know if this is something that I'd write out to. Yeah, maybe this is another one that I would listen to while if I was smoking too. Definitely has, yeah, a weird vibe to it for sure. I feel, you know what I feel like? I feel like there's a lot of elements that you could break down from this beat and make an entirely new beat off of any of those reverses. But having all of them all in just one track is just really crazy. Said it's a pitch sample from Dave Chappelle saying, I want to talk to Samson. That's hilarious. Simo says, do I smoke? I'm definitely a weed smoker, but the last time I smoked was probably well, I guess I smoked back in like mid-October. I went down to visit some friends for a chili cook-off in Illinois. So yeah, basically just when I'm on vacation. Breezy says he could spit to this. Make a 10-hour yeah, that actually does sound like what this would be. Like one of those 10-hour loops. Cooked sushi official. Hey, at least you have a profile pic on your Twitter. Wait. Oh, Breezy already beat me to following you. That's cool. All right. I was like, how does Breezy know who you are? From the live chat, obviously. Carson says, we just made the social medias yesterday. All right. Cool. We're starting fresh with all of it before we drop our first project. Totally makes sense. That totally makes sense. Yeah, you got to start somewhere, right? I actually started all of this 1 year and 1 month ago. Almost to the day. Yeah, 1 year and 1 month ago. So, yeah, my IG, my Twitter. Some of those I've had for a while. I just never posted or used them. Like my Twitter. I think I've had that for like a while, but I literally didn't start using it until, yeah, I started these YouTube channels. Blah, blah. Yeah, lo-fi beats to study to. Yeah, exactly, for sure. Akeem says, just purchased that FL Mobile. Gonna submit a beat as soon as I let it work. Dope. Yeah, I'm interested to see a FL Studio Mobile beat. There's this one guy, SLP. Hey, we passed 10 viewers for the first time. That's awesome. That's on all platforms, though. That's on Twitch, Facebook and YouTube combined. But what was I saying? Yeah, SLP, he makes all of his beats on mobile. I started this live channel 4 weeks ago. Yeah, maybe 3 weeks ago. And it was basically just me and him for the first couple days, and all of the beats that he submitted were off of his mobile phone. But it wasn't FL Studio Mobile, it was just a random beat app. But the beats sounded legit for, making a beat off of a phone for sure. More Australian currency beats. Dope. Turn this up. I like the rain Foley. I was hoping it was gonna drop in like crazy or something. Like all of a sudden turn into a flex beat with like a crazy bass. Like I could, yeah. Still dope, still dope. Simo, I could hear you going crazy on the loop, on this loop with your bass lines. Keem says I could rock with this. Yeah, me too, for sure. You should try out with those rides. It'd be, maybe it's just, yeah, it's more personal preference, but it would be cool if you had a pitch slide on those rides. Looks like Takid likes it too. Yeah, I love how the bass comes in. That's a hard bass. Hey Nadir, can Akeem download this and sample you? Yeah, I feel like that intro is perfect to sample. But yeah, all these have download links right here. But yeah, I would definitely ask his permission first, because I have no idea if that's his own loop or what. Oh, Akeem just wants to write to it. I'm sure he definitely doesn't mind that. Yeah, Z says, of course. Z's Nadir, so Z Beats is Nadir. He said he'll even give you the stems too. What was the name of that track, or his name? I'll just give you both. His name's Nadir. He's also Z Beats in the YouTube chat, and the name of that beat was WA003. Z Beats, if you have an Instagram or a Twitter that he could hit you up at, post that. I was about to say something about the synth bass. Yeah, I like it. Oh, Takid was celebrating the 11th Watcher. I gotcha. I appreciate it for sure. Yeah, we're about to crush all that on Monday. Monday or Wednesday. Yeah, one of these lives will be real lit. Yeah, Varden likes the deepness of that synth bass. That isn't one of the synth basses that I gave out, is it? Definitely sounds like it is. But, you know, synth basses. It's not, they tend not to, it's hard to make synth basses sound different, which is why I'm really proud of this drum pack that I'm dropping with the 20 synth basses that I have in there, because, yeah, they are fire, fire, fire. And by the way, all of you guys will get those half off during my live sessions. I'll always have a half off discount every time I go live that will last during the live stream. Okay, Z-Beats just posted his IG. This is dope. I love this vibe for sure. Nice. Good choice of drums. They fit the track so well. Hey David, what's MG up to on his live? Is he just making beats? Yeah, for sure, Varden. Yeah, definitely a freestyle rap type track. Like I can definitely hear people flowing over this, no problem. Did I not notice the bass line earlier? Oh. Okay, I just wasn't paying attention. But I liked how that bass line came in. It was a lot more prominent. Yeah, maybe if you up the level of the bass just a little bit. But I don't know. At the same time, I like the vibe of it already. Like, it made me not even think about the bass line. But yeah, I feel like I'd like to hear what it would sound like with that bass line turned up just a tad. Samson says, I would like to hear it slow down some more. I can imagine a currency vibe to it. I could definitely hear what you're saying, for sure. I was a huge currency fan. Samson says, kind of reminds me of the Bay, too. Bay Area has music like this? Never really lived. The only time I lived out in the West Coast, that was when I was in San Diego. But, yeah. I'm not very familiar with the San Francisco area and their music scene. Sacred, really odd sample I started and finished yesterday. Squash. Oh, I hear you, David. I cannot believe it's been an hour and a half. That is wild. I love this melody. So wavy. Maybe turn those rides down a little bit. Yeah, I would turn those rides down. They're a little too loud. Cool. Yeah. I like the track overall. Not really anything that I don't like about it besides those rides just being a little too loud. Forced me to turn the beat down. So I feel like I could crank that beat up a lot louder if you turn those down slightly, or maybe EQ'd them a little different with by taming the high end a little bit. But yeah, I like the track though. YouTube track called Her from Takid. Yeah, Keem says this is wavy. Yeah, for sure. Totally agree. Game show type beat. Shows a good video for it too.
Stately, shapely, sweet like a pastry. Wanna hear the sounds of a beat, it makes me get in the mood to write another dope classic. Pastime addict, she's never average. She's good to the savage, easy to manage. No extra baggage and her body is banging. Mental is the cadence of a soulful songstress.
Okay, yeah, Mike Savage on the left and that's you on the right. Takid.
She's on my personal playlist. Heavy rotation, iPhone battery drainage. She is my main chick, never the same shit. Smiles on her face, head bobbing to the basics. Not the same one of the mill I'm playing with. Aiming to please when I'm laying out these vocals to go through time to freeze.
Yeah, this is a fun track. I can see why you made it into a full song for sure.
Lord, she's gorgeous, beautifully recorded. Every bit of her is well proportioned. Should've never ignored caution signs, but I did. Now I'm all absorbed in her vortex. Sex talk.
It's so dope. So do you have a green screen set up in your crib?
Here in the moment for the love of this song. I don't have nobody but her. My soul is captured, raptured. Should have been enough to see disaster. Nope. Lost in love ever after. Infatuated.
Man, you both could spit for sure.
Captivated by the sounds, you can ask her. Who says Takid's a bachelor? I'm attracted to her ways like a human to a tractor beam. Every minute I fiend.
Dude, that's dope. I don't think I've ever heard anything like that sampled before, but you guys totally made it work for sure. Simo, I don't even think you're still in here. David Treasure says, I like the rapper. Yeah, that was two guys. One's Takid and the first guy was Mike Savage. Going with the exotic Asian vibes. Wow, Simo's still here. chops, good stutters. Yeah, there were some beats that we listened to earlier where I just felt like they're a little too repetitive, but just little chops and breaks and stutters like that can really change up the vibe real quick. Especially when you have like a continuous loop just playing throughout the whole track, just making it a little different with different stutters and chops can freshen things up. But it also depends on the track and the style for sure. This beat won you $15 because of a contest. What kind of contest is that with a $15 prize? What'd you get, like 10th place or something to win $15? That's crazy if $15 was the grand prize. Simo says, I had not much time to make that one, so I had to get a bit creative with the stutters. Yeah, exactly. That's really my point. Like, it's not a whole lot of work to change not the vibe, but to change up the monotony of a beat just by adding just a simple stutter or a chop here or there. And on top of that, you're clever enough not to just do it on the whole entire beat. You're doing it like on individual instruments or just the bass line. Like there's all different kinds of ways to incorporate that and not be like overly, stuttery. Simo says he won first place, but it was a guy with 130 followers. Man, I mean, shout out to that guy for doing a contest with only 100 followers. That's crazy. Oh. And shout out to you for subbing to the guy so early. We got $15 out of it. So that's cool. Have you been using your exciter anymore? Simo just got a hardware exciter that he's been messing around with. What the hell? 32 new messages since 5? Are we serious? Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, at least they're not all beat submissions. Another fire track from Simo for show. Cool. So Akeem and Nadir have linked up. Z beats. Cool. UK drill type beat. Every time I get a UK drill submission, I never know what to look for. Like I'm not familiar with the genre. Kind of think like 21 Savage, I guess. Simo, I tried it on my guitar and it's super fire, but apparently I need another interface. Yeah, I have a 2 interface setup and it does me wonders. I freaking love it. That's how I'm able to record me playing my keyboard without any latency. 0 latency. That's the great thing about audio. Took me a while to figure that out because I had 2 interfaces for a while, but it just never clicked in my brain that I could do that. I was like, you know what? Yeah, like I said, it's always hard for me to critique a UK drill type beat because I don't know, I'm not as familiar with that genre. But in terms of mixing and levels, I feel like this beat's like really low because right now I have my volume turned up all the way. This one was made by 17 and it just says UK drill type beat or UK drill beat prod 17. Simo says I want to get a Behringer interface with 4 inputs, 4 outs, so I can get an actual rack now that I have the exciter. Yep, That'll definitely help you. That'll definitely help you. Yeah, I just felt like the beat was really low in volume, so I guess it wasn't, mastered or anything. But you definitely don't have to master a beat, but you definitely want it loud enough to where you don't have to max out the volume. But in terms of the levels and the mixing, everything sounded good. Yeah, there wasn't any issues with clashing. Everything was in key. But in terms of like commenting on arrangement and stuff like that, I really have no tips for UK drill. But yeah, sound selection, all that was working except for I don't know, does UK drill use a lot of old sounds like that I vocal? Like, I feel like that's kind of dead now in trap, but I'm waiting for the chop snare to die off because that thing's freaking annoying. There's a commercial on TV right now that, like, I can't remember what the commercial is, but there's like, it does crazy. Oh, it's on the Sci-Fi Network, and it's an advertisement for what's that movie? Galaxy something. What's that Marvel movie with Rocket Raccoon? I can't think of the name. But yeah, there's an advertisement for that movie, and it has the chop snare doing like crazy snare rolls, and it's like throughout the entire track, and I'm just like, oh my god. But anyway, Confucius Beats, I was able to download an MP3 in this app. Would love some more to check out. Okay, they're having a conversation. Just so that we keep the beat critique section clear, try to have the conversations in the general section, and then any collaborations in the collab section, self-promotion and self-promotion, and so on and so forth. That way it's just a lot cleaner for people to get to each other. Samson says, this is one of my favorites, no samples, all original. And he named it OK. And Akeem liked that track as well. So David Treasure says, how do you set up two interfaces? Well, on the back of each interface, you'll have inputs and outputs. So on my Focusrite, I have my mic going into the front of my Focusrite, and then I have two audio cables going from the output going into the inputs on the back of my M Audio sound card. And my M Audio sound card and my Focusrite are hooked up to my PC through USB and Firewire. The Focusrite is connected through USB and the M Audio is connected through Firewire, but that's not even necessary. Really, you could just have the end of your chain hooked up to your computer and all the audio would go through there. And the reason I do that is because this is really chill and wavy too, Samson. The reason I do that is because in FL Studio, you're not able to use your sound card and get that audio through your PC when you're using streaming or OBS Studio. When you switch to when you use your sound card with OBS Studio, it's literally just tracking the audio from your computer and not from FL Studio. So my workaround is to still use the sound card through like the only way you would be able to do that is to use FL Studio ASIO, but the reason I don't like doing that is because FL Studio ASIO has extra latency on it. So by switching to my Focusrite sound card like everyone normally does, they use whatever sound card they have and make beats with that. It has the lowest level of latency, but by having the audio come out of my sound card and go into another sound card, that's hooked up to my computer, I'm able to use OBS Studio with my second sound card. Because you wouldn't be able to do both at the same time. So that's why I do that. Simo says, I'm in Mexico, Black Friday. I'm in Mexico the Black Friday. It's actually a whole weekend, so I'll try and get a cool computer right now. Hopefully I'll be back in some minutes. Good luck. Good luck. Hopefully your Black Friday out there isn't as crazy as the US Black Friday. IFNX. Thanks for the feedback on my beat. No problem. No problem. Breezy says, talented community. Y'all are killing it. Glad I was able to hang around. Good having you out here, Matt. I feel weird calling you Matt. Ta Kid. Yeah, by the way, Breezy, I talk about you like every other stream, right? Because how I got started in music comes up all the time. Again, he's the guy that actually got me FL Studio for the first time. And he's the guy that did all my drums when I first started making beats because I was more melody driven. So, yeah, it took me a while to get good at drums. Her too. Ta Kid.
Aw, shit, there she goes again. Damn, she's a 10. I'm after percent. What I said is what I meant. Rendezvous on the weekend.
Mike Savage
Everything is
again.
from a good session. The mood is the best. I'm in the booth in the presence. Everything is magic. Savages going in. And then, again and again. Blend with my pen and I'm hard like cement. My boss always bent. She's the creme de la creme. She gotta be heaven sent. She's not after my sense. Dollars for my rent. I'll recommend verbally express. She's your highness.
That's so smart. I never really thought about doing that with a green screen. If you're recording a video that's and you want like multiple angles, yeah, just record it from the side. I mean, I'm sure, yeah, that's common sense, but I never really thought to do that.
Yo, she's my little bee, not my bitch, but my beat. Got that thing y'all can't teach. Originality, anchored in a snare, got me in a trap. With the perfect pair, I'm the heart she attacks. You know they say opposites attract. I got a low voice, and she got a high hat. First time I heard her, she's so cool, so new, so
Dope, bro.
high tech. Put my voice on her, I don't even need a mic check.
How long ago did you guys make these songs? David Treasure says, I was wondering if it would ease my CPU. No, it would not. But at the same time, that's the reason that I'm doing it, so that I get no latency, but that's more of a technical issue than anything else.
Jump in, jump right in. No choice but to give in. Only way of living. Voice all hers of resistance. That's right, motherfuckers, every sentence dedicated to the one I love with a cadence. High maintenance, no patience, and nowhere to go. But straight to the lab, grab a pad and a pen, and I do it like that, yo. Stick it to it good, stick it to it real good. Make the bitch scream like a good fuck should. That's the way the Todd does it when he lay a lick down, when he lay a lick down, when he lay a lick.
Cool, bro. Cool. Who's the second rapper? Samsung Satellite. No samples. Yeah, David, it's not gonna save you on CPU or anything like that. It's just a workaround to get direct audio into OBS Studio for my screen recording software. And we are down to the end. Yeah, the good thing about these streams, we actually are able to get through all of the beats, but I know starting next week I probably won't be able to, unfortunately, because I think we'll have too many submissions. And on top of that, I think I'm going to have to do the whole skip the line thing. Just because we'll have so many, and I don't want people to be discouraged from showing up at the stream at, in the middle of it. Because I feel like people won't even watch if that's the case. Like, they have to have an opportunity to get heard if they need to. Sounds like you're using Mellotron emulation. Is that right, Samsung? Yeah, this sound right here totally sounds like a Mellotron. It's from one of my favorite instruments. Samson says, yes, it's a Mellotron. Exactly, he says. Yep, I know my Mellotrons. Yeah, Mellotrons are a great way to get the vintage feel right away without adding any effects, because that is what the sound is. It's literally tape recorded instruments, tape recorded sounds that play on a loop, and the loops are seamless, so that's how they get their sound. So if you ever see a Mellotron in real life, it's like one of the heaviest instruments ever, because it literally has rolls of tape for each key. So those instruments are insane and expensive. Samson said, I did the hi-hats as this back and forth pattern between the speakers. Thought it was pretty cool. The first sampler. Oh, yeah, the Mellotron. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. You have a filtered hi-hat on the right and the bright hi-hats on the left. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. What is up, Classy Beats? I was just reading your I almost said twit again. I was just reading your Twitter, or your, god damn it, your tweet about it says, so many lies out here in the producer community. I'm working on building a platform so I could spread truth and encouragement. Yeah, man, we definitely need more people doing that for sure. Classy says, I'm finally here. Yeah, you got here at the very end, though. We're about to listen to the last two tracks. But feel free to submit a track of your own if you'd like, because I'll definitely stick around for that. And also, we will be streaming live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on both channels starting next week. I'm not sure if that'll start on Monday or on Wednesday, but the deal is I'll have the live going on both channels at the same time, but to catch the replay, you'll have to be subscribed on this channel and watch the replays here. That way I don't ever have to worry about copyright or anything on my main channel. I'll just let that happen on this channel, where I don't really care about, the status of this channel as much. But I still try to, what I have been doing, I've been cutting out anyone that has copyright claims on my channel. I've been cutting those sections of my videos out, but that kind of sucks for you guys who, if you're trying to get your music out there and people are, if you're really trying to get people to hear your music, like, it sucks that I have to mute that out or whatever. But so I try to avoid that. yeah, at the end of the day, you'll be able to catch the replays here on this channel for sure. Classy says he'll be ready for the next one. Dope, dope, dope. All right, moving on to Nadir. The last 2 tracks. This is one of my older beats. I feel like I was more free with the older beats. Okay. Yeah, I think that's something that I'm going to do here soon. I'd mentioned checking out some of my old beats from my SoundCloud days from like 15 years ago. Just think it would be interesting for me to do like a reaction video to my old beats. Nadir, this definitely sounds like one of your old beats for sure. Like I could definitely hear the improvement. This intro is way too long, especially for a 2-minute track. We had almost a 1-minute intro, it sounded like. But I guess that wasn't even an intro. That was supposed to be a part of the track, the main track. Yeah, the leveling's not right. Just the drum selection, really dated. Nothing's really punching. But I get what you're saying about being free. You're just kind of doing whatever you want. Sounds like you have halftime on there. I don't know how old this track is. When I think old, I think like years. I think before halftime was invented, or gross beat. But old for you might be like 2 years ago or something. Yeah, you've definitely improved quite a bit from your old stuff. This is one I tried to do EDM trap, but never knew how to finish it. It has 2 switch ups. Yeah, I'm working on 2 different instrumental projects. One is like a really chilled, laid-back, lo-fi type vibe called White Asleep, and the other one's more EDM-driven, like future bass, called Falling Awake. Both of those projects are going to be 10-track EPs, and then I'll have LP versions of those come out a year later. Those will be 20 tracks each. It was 6 months ago. Well, you improved quite a bit over these 6 months. Like I was saying in a previous live, like it's a lot easier to improve quickly nowadays with all the YouTube tutorials out there. Let's get ready for this drop. The build-up was so dramatic, but you know, the drop just left me feeling kind of empty because it went super chill after that big build-up. Thanks, Classy Beats. Says looking forward to the project dropping. Yeah, I know I'm talking about that project now, but that's not dropping until the end of the year, so I'll have, yeah, just because I'm so busy with another project that I'm doing where I'm working with a bunch of unknown artists, rappers and singers, so I'm prioritizing them first before I start dropping my instrumental projects. Deco, what's up? Yeah, cymbals would help a lot, Samson. Peace out, Classy.
Keep it 100.
Yeah, a lot of old school EDM tracks used to do that exact type of drop, but you don't really hear that anymore because DJs stopped playing those tracks because of the reaction of the dance floor. Like, it sounds good in terms of just having a difference, having a change up in the track just in general, but like it kills the dance floor. Like, man, I remember when EDM first started getting big and I was still hopping around in the clubs, and you'd get huge buildups just like this, and then all of a sudden it just went to a basic 4-on-the-floor pattern with like a pad in the background going do, do, do. And you just get like, the energy would just get sucked out of the room. I used to DJ, by the way, so I know the whole concept between like, you know, just keeping the vibe going and keeping the dance floor packed, and that just always kills the dance floor whenever you get a drop just like that. But just something to keep in mind. Samson mentioned having cymbals, just more high-end energy. That's really what you want to do when you have a big build-up like that with all these different sounds. Like, you want to keep a lot of that high-end frequency, literally those high-end frequencies going when you do drops like that. When it gets all like low-end and like really chill, like that build-up just, it's so dramatic, so different that build-up actually has the opposite effect on the dance floor. But not that you're specifically making these for a dance floor or anything, but just something to keep in mind if you ever want to start promoting EDM tracks on Beatport or anything like that. But yeah, let me check this general section and we are going to call it. Yep. All right, guys. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we are live. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.